All right. So my name's James Blankley. I've been with Molex since 2010. I started there as an intern through customer service, through marketing, things like that. Helped me kind of really learn the lay of the land with Molex and kind of how things are going. Moving forward now, we are part of Coke, so that's really kind of helping us grow as a company. We're able to get out there, make a lot of acquisitions, bring a lot of new companies in, new technologies, new solutions that, in the past we never been able to bring to our customers. And today we can kind of bring those out to our customers through all these new companies we're working with. So I've been actually working with IoT, AR, VR as well since 2015, doing a lot of kind of initial marketing, trends, analysts, like things like that. And right now, my current role, I'm working with the commercial and consumer solutions group. So what we do is a lot of kind of micro miniature parts, things like that. So what my role in the group is to help drive, business within the IoT kind of field and AR, VR as well, and then also help with a lot of the industry marketing and things like that. So I'm actually based at headquarters in Lisle, Illinois. It's outside Chicago, but it is actually my family's goal to get out here to Portland. So we'd love to get out here. Some of my interests, watching soccer and basketball. I don't play anymore. I'm getting too old and slow. But, love to get outdoors with my wife and daughter. My wife said I've been spending too much time on PS4 and watching Netflix and Hulu. So trying to get that calmed down a bit. But something else I really enjoy is golf. I can really seem to hit the ball pretty far, but I can never keep it on my own fairway. So I'm always crossing over other people's. So today, we're just going to cover, talk about Molex. We're going to talk about some market trends, things I look at to see, how do we drive innovation, how do we find new products out there. We're going to touch base on some of the products we've showcased outside today. And I'm going to go over Molex.com, some navigation there, some kind of feedback I've gotten since I've been here, and then also talk about some sample kits, things like that we can provide you guys. And then also with questions, what we'll do is we'll be right outside here, to keep things moving, maybe just swing by our table and we can help you with questions out there. So first of all, before we get started, by a show of hands, how many of you guys have heard of Molex, worked with Molex? Awesome. Excellent. Really good to see. So we've been around for 81 years, really starting off with basic kind of, actually the first thing was called a Molex, which is, basic connector. It's kind of where we got our name from. Been around for 81 years, started by the Crabiel family in the Brookfield area in Lisle, right around there. We've had a big kind of expertise in, getting forward with, interconnect solutions, but then also trying, like I said, bringing on new types of products, new types of innovations, trying to move forward, find the needs for the market. And, what we're doing is we're constantly, investing in R&D. We're putting money back into all, the money we're making. We're kind of getting out there, finding new products, finding new ways to engage with customers. And, the last 10 years, we've been really, really pushing to kind of become like a solution provider to our customers, giving them all sorts of options, plastic molding, antennas, connectors, things like that. So as a company, 67 manufacturing locations, all over the world, scattered out, 50,000 people working for Molex in 43 different countries. So we've got a wide different base of people sharing knowledge, sharing ideas, and kind of finding pain points in the different parts of the world to find, different options and parts for them. So what we're doing here today, we're glad to be a sponsor for this event. We're glad to be here and working with all of you. We've got a table out there. Like I said, we've got, a million USB fans. Like I said, I brought these out here, and if I don't get rid of them, I got to bring them home. So take them, destroy them, give them to your kids, give them to your dog. I don't care. As long as I don't have to take home 60 fans, I'm cool with that. So we've got that. We're going to be hosting a dinner tonight. It'd be great to see everybody over there. That'd be fun. And then also we're working on the we have a design challenge with the event right here at Crowd Supply. So there's a lot more details on the website, and I'd suggest going there. But what it really kind of does is you get the option to use multiple different kind of Molex products and be a part of the competition and win some prizes, get some reduced costs on your products going forward and things like that. And also, big thing is you've got Molex behind you to help you. You've got questions, we've got technical support, we've got all sorts of things we can get to you guys to help out. So we're just going to cover some market trends, things we're looking at right now at Molex. The thing we look at right now is, the last 30 years, we've really been kind of connecting people. If you look at starting off with analog phones, going to 4G, now we're all coming to this mysterious 5G that really no one knows what's going on with it, but we're getting there. And, that's kind of the thing is, it's interesting how we're really moving forward with data. And, I always think this is really interesting. If you think about like 1998, and this may be way back, but if you think about like AOL Instant Messenger and like MySpace and all that stuff, well, your parents are telling you don't talk to people on the internet, don't get in cars with people, and then here we are literally last night, just order an Uber, jump in a car with a random person and drive all over the place. So, it's kind of what we're doing is we're kind of, with this information transfer, we're kind of almost like taking a step back and saying, oh, we're safe, we're okay, we got all this data out there. Yeah, you think about this, we've got, like Airbnb, you've got Uber Eats, all these new things, these new ideas, people coming forward. It's all because of the changing of information and technology growing. So right now with Molex, what we're doing is we've really kind of taken the IoT segment and we started to break it out. Consumer and home, that's really kind of where I spend my time. That's where I work at. It's my major focus. But we're also working with smart infrastructure. A lot of the cell companies right now, like I said, are trying to implement 5G. So we're working with them on kind of getting that all built out. Security and surveillance, we've got a lot of those sort of opportunities going on with major, like, hotels, companies like that, where they're actually trying to put these cameras everywhere. We're working with the companies that are actually manufacturing those and getting the big contracts to go into kind of commercial applications. Transportation, that's one we'll cover in a little bit, but we're really moving forward on that with a lot of the EV and autonomous vehicles. And then other, being part of Coke, we have a lot of kind of agriculture and farming and stuff like that. Industrial IoT, retail, healthcare, and we'll get into some details on these. So like I said, connected home is kind of where my specialty is. I work on, driving business within the IoT market specifically. This is actually a really cool tool we have on our website that, if you go on it, you can hover above a camera or something, hover above a video doorbell, and we'll say, hey, these are the types of parts we see used in these types of things. Kind of more of an application brief to kind of show more product opportunities and ways to get in there. So what we've done is, we've looked at this, we've said, security and surveillance, energy, home automation, home streaming. And the thing is, we've got to a real deep level on this, but what we're going to do is start moving forward and kind of get into these sort of things with healthcare. So with healthcare, we're working with a lot of different companies. The big thing right now, like I said, is data. Transferring data, getting data to your doctor immediately, getting real feedback on things like that owlet over there, that little baby sock. I got a daughter right now, and she's 2. But when we first got her, we were terrified. We could not sleep. We're like, look at the camera. Is she breathing? I don't know. I think I saw her move. I don't know. Go in and check on her. So, we were a nervous wreck. But, we would then run out and we got this owlet sock. And literally it's just like a little puck in a sock. You pop it on the baby's foot. And it gives you that peace of mind to say, hey, her heart rate's fine. She's breathing. Don't worry. Go to sleep yourself. You need it. We're working with some big retail companies. Interesting one up the top. We're working with a company right now. You might recognize who their product is, but we're working with them, a major retailer. And in that camera itself, they're kind of using that to be a like AR to kind of put an outfit on you. Now with this company, you can go on their website, take a picture of an outfit you like, and they'll suggest outfits they have on board that are similar. Something else, we're working with a grocery company out of Indiana right now on these smart RF tags. Basically, you hook it up with your app, and then as you walk through the store and you're trying to find where the bread is, where the milk is, you're not having to figure out where that is. It's going to literally kind of map you through there and digitally build out your shopping list for you. And then a nice thing is for the retailers is they need to do sales, price change, things like that. They just do it automatically. They don't have to go out and physically put a new piece of paper in. Those smart tag displays just actually update right live. IoT is, I think, the one way to kind of look at this one, is, in the past, it was all about, the mechanics driving information, driving kind of innovation, things like that. In IoT, Industry 4.0, it's all about the information, using the information to be smarter, things like that. So we've got our Woodhead group, our Bragg group that do all the industrial sort of parts like that. They're working a lot more with kind of like beverage companies, food companies, things like that, and kind of their, supply chain lines and getting products built. And as I mentioned, we work a lot with, the Coke companies. That's one big thing being part of the Coke companies. There's a lot of transfer of, knowledge and things like that. Pain points where they may come to us and say, hey, we're having this issue. What would you guys suggest? What could you guys bring to the table? One I thought was actually pretty interesting. Actually, 2 of them. The first one was Coke Ag. What they were doing was they were actually aggregating all the data from all these different farmers in a certain territory to say, hey, this guy's, soil pH is at this level. Yours is here. He's watering this amount. You're watering this amount. And using that data to kind of make smart decisions for those farmers. And then, employing that actually for Coke as a company as they start to do their own agriculture and things and growing. And then for Matador, that's another Coke company. It's actually literally a cattle company for steaks and stuff like that, based down in Texas. They were asking us about some sort of way to keep track of the, basic biometrics of the cows. Are they getting sick? Because if they're getting sick, let's get them away from all the other cows. Or, is one getting close to passing away? Let's get them away. Things like that. So able to use that sort of, tracking technology as well to see where the herds are going, where they're moving. And this is actually a big push. I don't know if anybody had a chance to see this, but at CES, we kind of had a private booth set up for autonomous vehicles. Right now, the big thing we're pushing is being able to put 10 gig through the car. Because we've got all these LiDAR going on, radar, all the sorts of sensors, cameras, things going on like that. We have to have a way to be able to transfer the data quickly. And this is something that, we did at a private booth. We had a lot of the, big automaker makers come in, and they're looking at trying to standardize the Molex backplane in their cars for kind of the 10 gig speed going forward as a standard. So, as we look at all those markets, what are those teaching us? What are those showing us, right? The big things I think is, we're seeing more user interfaces, a lot more kind of touch displays, these devices communicating with us a lot more. Where in the past, like Alexa and a lot of those things would just be on a speaker. Well, now they've got, like the Hub Max and stuff where they've got the display. So you can physically see, the prompt come back and say, okay, I understood what you're asking. Here's your response back. So what we're trying to do is increase, the options with that, FPC, things like that, connectors. Increase speeds, obviously then need to have more speed going through your flex assemblies too. So that's something we're working on, trying to, get pitch sizes down. And then, modularity, we're seeing more and more things kind of come in like plug and play. You can take a camera, plug it in, take it out, to a speaker, plug it in, plug it out. Sensors, plug them in, plug them out. All those things are neat connectors. So more and more options to not have things just, potted to a board or something, but actually going to need a connector. And then profile is the big thing I would say right now. We're really, really working on to get low profile. We understand, a lot of like wearables, things like that you guys are making. Space is huge. Space on your board is massive. So we're trying to find ways to cut down on profile size, mating heights, things like that as well. And this is actually something we've been working on. I've got some really good feedback being at this event. It's been really, really beneficial for me to take back to our marketing team to show them and say, this is what people are thinking of our website. This is what is coming from, our business right now. And what we're trying to do is make these application briefs where it's actually showing, if you come to our website and you don't know what you would want to use for, a smart speaker or things like that, you can come to our website and we'd say, hey, if you're trying to do a mic flex, this is the part we'd recommend. If you're trying to do a speaker, this is the part we'd recommend, to try to walk you through that to make that decision process easier for you. So some of the product solutions we're going to talk about, and these are all out on display too, I can show you guys. We've got our slim stack board-to-boards, our FPC connectors, our IOs, and our wire-to-boards, signal and power. So for our signal, we've got 1 millimeter to 2.5, and we've got 2 different orientations there. And if you're looking for current ratings 1 to 3, this would be the route to go for signal for low power. As you move up to get a little bit higher power towards the 6.5 and 23 amps, we got 2.54 and 5.7 millimeter pitch. MicroF is one of the big parts of Molex. That's probably the one a lot of you guys see a lot of out there. But we're trying to grow those as well. We're trying to find new ways to kind of innovate that, different locking features, TPA, stuff like that. So with all our parts, what we do kind of have is, you've kind of got your, your basic, and you got your Cadillacs at the end, when it comes down to different types of profiles or, locking mechanisms, things like that. We want to try to be able to get kind of different options out there for our customers. If you need just the nitty gritty basics, we've got those. But if you do need things, a little more robust, a little more kind of, secure, we've got those as well. Just a little more pricey. Our slim stacks are also really popular. These were really used a lot in mobile applications, but we're seeing a lot of these take off in wearables, things like that. So, one thing with these is, they've got the top contact, they got a bottom contact as well. And then they have an armor nail retention to protect the housing in there. And these also can do power from 3 to 10 amps. Then our FPCs, we got front flip, back flip, and we got push pull for the different types of actuator styles. And we've got 0.2 to 2 millimeter pitch there. So the most popular one I'd definitely say we see the most is probably 0.5. We see a ton of that. We got a lot of different variations on that as well. And we got all sorts of different, mating heights, things like that, depending on what you need in your board. And then on the IOs, the big one I would say is USB Type-C. We've got those, and we've also got different types of cable assemblies for those as well, both ends. We can help you with the board end of it, and we can help you with the cable end of it. But we've also got, we've got a whole board out there for you guys to check out with all the USB Type-Cs. And then antennas, I don't want to touch on this too much. We actually got our expert back there, Matt, who's going to do a workshop. I believe it's 10 to noon tomorrow, covering antennas. But I just want to touch on this and show you guys, because this is one thing that a lot of customers don't know that we have. They don't know we have antennas. They just know it's for, the basic nylon connectors back in the day. So what we do have, we got a lot of different flex antennas, and we've got chip antennas, and more and more looking into to see if we can get into kind of the external antenna world as well. But the big thing, I guess, just to remember for this is, we do cover all the different protocols. So if you're working with Zigbee, Z-Wave, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, all those different ones, we have antennas to cover all those, and it's all broken down on our website. You can sort by like different protocols too. So I'm just going to go through Molex.com and kind of show you some things on here. And I've also got some feedback that I'm going to mention to you guys, things that I'm going to try to take back to marketing, get improved for, making our website a little easier. So with our basic kind of products, you've got kind of the sort feature by, starting off in connectors or cable assemblies, things like that. And as you go forward, then you can kind of break it down into, signal, power and signal, IO. And then once you eventually find the part number, then you can break it down and see the actual series numbers. So you can get the drawings, the digital boards. You can get a design guide with all the different circuit sizes, amps, things like that. We've got one of those out there at the table we can also give you guys. And then with the core products, so the core products are, obviously the ones we focus on the most. One thing we've got feedback from customers on is, we don't have actual photos of every single part on there. We have series photos. For the core products, we're actually working on that right now. So if you want to see a 6-circuit microfit, you're going to see a 6-circuit microfit. You're not going to see the 8-circuit and then just be like, series photo. We're trying to really improve that to make it a lot more visual for you guys when you're going on there and seeing things. And also building off kind of the 3D models. We're trying to get more of those going. And one thing I'll mention here is, one thing engineers have come to me and said specifically about Molex.com is like, we don't have a parameter search. So it's tough for you guys to come in and say, I need a 0.5, 2-circuit, 3 amp, whatever. It's like you guys have to know kind of where you're going specifically to the product page. You have to go, okay, I think that's an SL. Is the SL got that? And click on there. Oh, no, wait, is it a Pico class? I don't know. So I'm going to work on that because I want to make that easier for you guys to come in. If you know what you're looking for, we should self-service you. We should give you exactly what you're looking for on the front end. So, we've got the industry page, which is the connected home one. I'd suggest checking that one out. It's got the cool guide on there where you can kind of see what's going on. That's the interactive product training. We've got some brochures. If you're interested, you can print those off. Sample boxes, I got an example of that. We've written a few blog articles kind of on the IoT world and what we're working on there. And we've also done kind of a white paper, which is a comprehensive study on the IoT market and kind of where we see that going. So this is just actually the interactive tool. That's right on the Molex homepage. If you go to Industries, click Connected Home, you can see this. It's actually really cool. Go on there. I'm trying to see if I can get people to do a 2.0 version of actually doing like the upstairs and the outside as well. But we'll see. We'll see how tight the marketing budget gets. And then this is a sample box. I don't have them here with me, but we've got the table out there. You can swing by, give me your card. I'd be happy to send this to you. What we try to do is we try to kind of encompass all the different types of parts that would be in this kit. So it's kind of hard to see, but we've got a couple antennas, we've got a mod jack, SD card, we got a couple microfits. Then we've also got like the terminals and the cables, so you can actually mate them and see the whole process yourself. A couple light traps at the top, and then a FPC as well. So it's kind of a good kit to start with, just to kind of see what's out there and know what Molex has. It's kind of just a wide kit, but we'd be happy to send these to you guys as well, no charge. So kind of some key takeaways I'd say would be is, we want to be a part of your journey from the start to finish. If you got questions on some sort of product you're looking at, you want to see would this Molex product work, reach out to us. We got technical support. We've got all sorts of people here to help you. We've got local support, sales support in each of the regions. We're trying to make it easier. I feel like it's pretty easy to find information. We're trying to make it easier. So that's what an event like today is. It really helps us improve and hear the voice of customer. What can we do to help you guys and make your life easier finding parts and, using Molex? And, we've got well-stocked parts and distribution, easy to find, pretty much everywhere. And we're putting more and more and more into distribution all the time. And, we're continually working on new products to kind of hear what you guys are talking about. And that's something, a lot of these discussions we're having out at our table is kind of leading us to think like, hey, this is a part maybe we didn't put out anymore. Why didn't we put it out? We're having a lot of people ask about it. We have sort of concept parts we can ask about and bring those to customers and see if those are going to be kind of voice of customer opinions and bring those out and actually make those products. And, the big thing is we got a table outside, swing by, ask any questions you want. We would help you out and get you samples and things like that.